Before Harry Potter, there was Mildred Hubble. Jamie?
Yeah.
Let's go watch The Worst Witch. In the money.
Here we are.
Oh, and I thought, listen, we're putting this out on Friday. We are recording on Tuesday. I am not going to have time to edit it, so we're not going to give a patrons-only episode. We'll leave all this in for everybody.
Love it. Love it.
They'll be treated to what a... Yeah.
Yeah.
To what a patrons-only episode sounds like.
All right.
Hold on. Let me do one more thing with my...
There's a lot of this. There's a lot of adjusting in a patrons-only episode.
Oh, no.
Oh, lights out. No. Now you're really setting the mood. You're going to light some candles. Oh.
There we go.
You're in the dark. Now you're well lit now. There you go.
Shit. Okay.
All right.
That's really bright. I don't like this. Oh, now I'm back to colors.
Dark.
LED lights, man. I don't...
I mean, that's softer.
There, that's
bright.
good enough. Okay.
That's bright. The one before that was a little soft.
All right, I'm going to go with the soft.
That's dark. That's
this
not
is
soft.
red. So
well, what makes red soft? Red's not a soft.
No, I
That's dark too.
it's
That's soft
it's
right here.
Okay, I'm not going to touch it. It cycles through. It's got like 3 brightnesses, and then it switches to color. So then you have to turn it off.
And then cycle
over.
back through. Okay. Well, this is a good light. I don't know if it bothers you, but it doesn't bother me.
No. I think it's all your fun lighting back there got me to thinking, I need lighting. But are you doing that just with Christmas lights?
Yeah, those are just some purple twinkle lights.
They're not twinkling. Wait, are they?
Well,
no, they are.
They're not twinkling. They're Christmas lights. Okay. But they're not Christmas lights because it's not Christmas.
Is that how Christmas? You know what? Some people in my neighborhood would agree with you. They're like, these that I've not taken down. Those aren't Christmas lights. It's not Christmas.
No, those are seasonal lights.
Right.
These are, and actually, I did because they're purple, right? So I got them. I think I got them on Halloween at like the craft store or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So they're not Christmas lights. They're purple Halloween lights that are up all year round. Or you know what? That's why I call them twinkly lights, even though I guess technically they're not twinkling.
Right. I mean, they are very appropriate for what we're talking about today, though. If you're talking
Do you
about Halloween.
see the Patreons, what they get? The goodness?
Right, yeah. All this conversation about lighting. And you know what? I think this might be the first time we've ever talked about lighting. So who knows? Past episodes, who knows what you're getting in the first 15, 20 minutes. And I do have to say, these, for some reason, we're not doing it intentionally, are getting longer and longer. I am having to scrub through like 20 to 25 minutes before we actually start the show.
Well, you know what? There's just some familiarity, some dancing that has to happen before we step into the number. You know, it's like a warm up.
Well,
but it's an extended warm up.
These are some numbers. I really do want to know. And again, since we're doing this for everybody, it doesn't matter. I mean, we'll start the show. We'll start it started.
Yeah,
so we can play the music and all that. But
sure.
Is this the first time you've seen this?
Yes. Yes. And I have to say, I said, as soon as it opened up, I said, I think Doug picked this just for me. I think that's why he picked it.
I didn't.
And you saw this as a child? This was a commonly watched movie for you.
Yes. I did read that HBO played it at Halloween. From 86 to 90. So I don't know how many times in the month of October they played it. I think I watched it every time.
Yeah, you did.
I love, not loved, I love this. I had so much fun. Now, I have not seen it since 1990, probably.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no. I mean, every now and then, just because I want my children's brains to melt. I have put on the Tim Curry song just to be like,
the Halloween
can you
one,
believe
yeah.
this? But other than that, I really hadn't seen it. And there's a lot of this that I didn't remember.
Well, there's a lot that's kind of forgettable. And honestly, even
Most of it.
Mrs. Garrett's whole twin sister. Not that she's forgettable at all, because wow,
that
what a
hair-
performance.
That wig is amazing. Like when Mrs. Garrett showed up as the nice Mrs. Garrett in this, I was like, I thought her hair was crazy. And then we got the sister, and I went, oh, sisters. I forgot.
That's right. That's right. So good. So good. Not just sisters. One's proper British, the other one's Southern.
Why? Why? She's hitchhiking to Alabama at the end of this movie from London or somewhere in England.
Oh my gosh. It's great. It is so great. It is, yeah. I mean, I don't want to give too much away. I say
don't want to
nothing.
give too much away either. I love the fact that, honestly, Mrs. Garrett, and for some reason, which I do not understand, Tim Curry, they are crushing their roles here. They are in it to win it, and I don't know why. I don't know what about this. They were like, oh yeah, I'm going to come in here, I'm going to chew scenery as much as possible, and then I'm out. When Tim Curry says, I got another gig, I was like, this isn't in the script. He's telling the director
He's literally
right
got
now,
another gig.
I got to go.
When he flies around with that blanket, oh my God. It's a blanket. It's not a cape. It's not, he doesn't look regal or superhero.
It's like a Technicolor dream coat that he's flying through the air in. It is wild. I totally forgot about that.
Charlotte Rae, that's Mrs. Garrett's real name, right? Charlotte Rae. Sweet, sweet Charlotte Rae. Boy, did she give her all to this role. And I don't know. Wait, I was trying to figure. So this was 86. So Facts of Life was happening, right? Was Tootie, like, was this in between, like, episodes of, or seasons, you think, of Facts of Life? Where are we in the Facts of Life world?
I think this was, like, right before Facts of Life kind of took off, because I saw that her time on Different Strokes ended in, I think, 85.
Okay.
So this is like right before she kind of got into that, or right as that was.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. That kind of makes even more sense now to me. I wasn't sure if it was like, because I just didn't have I don't have my years right for the Facts of Life, so. Yeah. I thought that it was maybe but she was like Mrs. Garrett in another, but she's not Mrs. Garrett yet. She's just Mrs. Cackle in her life.
I think she is Mrs. Garrett at the same time. Listen, I don't know when this was filmed. Okay, I don't know over what weekend this was filmed.
Right.
But,
exactly. Yeah. But my goodness. All right, well, let's get into it. Let's do this, because it's no sense tiptoeing around it. We got to just dive right in. Oh,
that's fine. No, you start us. So whenever you're ready, you can start.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Good Times, Great Movies. I can't hide it. I am so excited, y'all, about today's episode. But I will tell you who we are. I am Jamie Laurello. The other part of this podcasting team is DP McCambridge. Mm-hmm. He's got his cauldron set up. He is ready to do some spells. You little warlock, you.
My friend's like, do I put it in a teaspoon? I'm like, I don't know. Take a big fistful of that shit and throw it in there, lady. I'm sure that's what the potion is.
You got to grow it over the full moon, you dumb shit. You dumb witch shit.
You dumb shit. You'd be a great leader of this school. Hey, you dumb shits, listen. I made up a new song. Shut your pie holes. We're going to start singing.
At least the one teacher is not a nice teacher, witch teacher.
No, Diana Rigg.
Yes, that's her.
And I mean, outside of Diana Rigg and Charlotte Rae and Tim Curry and Fairuza Balk, and I mean, listen, I just named the main cast. These other people, just watching this and looking them up, it's nothing. It's like a ghost town trying to find out what these people did.
But that's okay. They were part of this, and that's what matters.
Right. No, for me, nothing matters. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Agatha's, I guess, number 2, whatever that woman is, who looks like she should be in the Sex Pistols. Like, she, I don't think, did anything after this. But that's fine, because, again, in my stupid kid brain, the moment she popped up, I was like, oh, my, it was, Jamie, these were just memory just flooding back to me as I watch this, and that is such a joy. I don't know the last time I've experienced that.
Oh, I could see what a lovely joy. I wish that I had. I turned to my husband. We watched this together, and I said, if I had seen this as a child, I think there was another movie. I can't think of what it was that we watched. I think it was Labyrinth, actually, because I didn't see Labyrinth as a kid.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
If I had seen this as a kid, it changes a bit of my. I mean, I would have still ended up where I am, but I would have gotten there sooner. Does that make sense?
No. That makes total sense. That's why when I talked to you about this and you didn't seem all that excited, I was like, oh my God, I bet she's never seen this
She's
before.
never. No. And like I said, I turned it on, and the first few minutes, I said, I think this is DP's gift to me. I think he was like, here you go. But now that I know that it's a fond memory for you as a child, and I kept wondering that. Now I do have some opinions, which I'll share, because I think you can agree. Although it is a lot of fun, it is a weird, trippy, crazy, wild ride.
Yes, yeah. These
but
are
I'm all aboard.
these are. There are moments in this movie that, like a lot of the kids' movies we've watched for this, and I'm sure there are kids' movies and TV shows like this now, but it's just things that I think just leave a mark. Like, again, that Tim Curry song, throughout my 20s and 30s and now even into my 40s, and I'm talking about before the internet was really around and I was able to find this.
Yeah.
I could hum that tune. I couldn't tell you most of the lyrics.
But
I
it
could
was
tell you the dog
ingrained in
turned into
there.
a cat.
Yeah.
After that,
Yeah.
I was kind of lost.
Yeah.
But no, I never forgot that song.
Oh, believe me, if I had watched this as a child, my whole family wouldn't have been able to forget these. Has some of the. I would be singing. I would have. Yeah, it would have taken over my house. It would have been all too much. Probably my family kept it from me so that I wouldn't.
You would have been like, Mom, this Halloween I'm going to go as the Grand Wizard. She's like, wait a second. Hold on. I think that's a clan thing, Jamie. I don't think you should not run around this house talking about the Grand Wizard.
That is not okay. That is not okay.
No. That's something I did forget. But the moment they're yelling about a Grand Wizard, I was like, oh,
right.
They had to have known this. Like, I mean, I understand they're in England, but still, come on.
Well, but that's his position. He is the wizard. I mean, you can't change a name on that. Now, full disclosure, I enjoyed this immensely, but I have never seen it. I don't think you have either.
You don't need to keep saying that before criticizing. This is a terrible movie.
Okay.
Like, this is... like I said, it was probably made over a long weekend somewhere. Yeah. And the amount of just people standing in front of green screens, sitting on brooms in front of green screens is really crazy.
Those were some terrible but awesome witchy flights on the broomsticks.
Really jittery backgrounds.
And very awkward,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, though. You were asking a question.
Oh,
making a
I
statement.
was going to ask you. Do you? And maybe because with the girls you have you watched the Harry Potters? Are you a Harry Potterer?
I read the first handful with my oldest daughter.
Okay,
and then
nice.
she watched the movies, and I watched like the first 2 or 3, and I was like,
You couldn't get it. You couldn't do it.
No, I couldn't, because first of all, I kept thinking of The Worst Witch.
Yeah, you did.
But of course I did. And I think I wanted it to be more fun and funny.
And it was
I think
too
that was the thing. That was the issue I had with Harry Potter. Is I was like, why are they taking this so seriously? These kids are witches. Like, this is silly, right? This should be goofy. No, so I never got into it. I know that there are people out there that are our age and even older that are into Harry Potter, and I would never take that away from somebody, but it's not my thing.
Well, I want them to see The Worst Witch and then...
And realize that everything is ripped off?
Yeah.
Okay. I do too. I want them to be like, oh, so she's at a witch's school in England and she's the worst one and makes a lot of mistakes and everybody hates her. Okay, and she's got like a friend who's kind of a red-haired nerd, and all right, I can sort of see what's happening here. And there's a teacher that really hates her, but by the end, kind of likes her.
And they want the Grand Wizard to come and wish them all well and make sure they do a great job on all of their witcheries.
Yeah.
It comes for certain occasions and celebrations.
I also love, and I hope the director like went to Tim Curry and was like, "Listen, I've seen Clue. Please listen. You're great in Clue, but do not bring that Clue energy. Can you bring Rocky Horror energy to this children's movie?"
Tim was like, "I can't deliver." I can't do a Tim Curry accent, but
I don't know, but when he and that woman are like eye fucking each other, and he's like,
He
these
gets
young
so-
kids.
yeah.
It's like, Tim, you're
Take
out of
it down a
control.
notch, Tim. There's like 12-year-old girls around. What about
Well-
that, though, that they all have the picture of him and they're spooning over him?
I did not know that this movie was about like sexual awakening in preteen girls either, because they're like kissing that picture and passing it around and like licking it. And I was like, I don't like any of this, because all of them, all the grown women, the elderly woman, they are all gaga over
He's
Tim
the
Curry.
wizard and the mighty hair. I think they thought that Tim Curry, well, yeah,
Listen, he's the only guy for miles and miles.
this is
That's-
true. This
yeah.
is true.
I don't read. People can write like reviews on IMDb and stuff like that, and that's something I thought about for our show. Like I thought about reading funny reviews after we, talk about a movie or
Oh.
something. But I never really do that. I saw one review where a lady was like, "Yeah, this is kind of like Harry Potter," and she's like, "But probably not enough for a lawsuit." After this lengthy explanation about the parallels between the two, there's a giant gap, and then she goes, "Also, Tim Curry is super hot in this."
It is a fine curry. And there's a lot of it, because I'm looking at right now, because we started a little late, and while I was waiting, I just was watching scenes from the movie over again, because as you said, this is my life now.
How do you,
Can't get
how
away.
do you not? Did I try and find this on DVD immediately while watching it? Yes, I did. And I found out it's reasonably priced.
Amazing. I know what your podcast anniversary gift is going to be. 'Cause
Coming up.
Yeah, I know. Hey, P.S. sidebar. Has it been 8 years? Am I doing math right?
This will be the end of 7.
Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. It's still a long time. Lucky 7.
Yeah, 7.
Oh, that's
I
a
count on
finger
my
count.
fingers.
That was a finger
Yep.
count. I saw it go down.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, wait. You see this? We are 20 minutes into our talk of an hour-long movie, and we haven't really even talked about the movie yet.
No.
We haven't even properly finished the introduction, but we are who we are, and if people
Yeah.
are here listening, they know what we do. So,
All right. Okay. Yeah. Let's actually get into it. Let's
Yeah,
sort of
I
talk
want to. I'm
about this
so
movie
ready.
beat for beat, because I've never read these are a series of children's books also.
Yeah.
As if the Harry Potter people hadn't ripped this off enough. They're actually books. And this seemed, just from doing like very, very minor research, this seemed to be a few little tiny plot points from the first few books.
Gotcha.
Like turning that girl into a pig, and the
Which was super fun.
laughing spell or whatever that was. Like, I don't know that these are all from the same book, but somebody like skimmed it and was like, "This is
These
good. This
sound
is
good.
good.
Yeah,
Let's just
okay.
put all this together." I also, and this is not the trash Harry Potter podcast. That would be terrible. I wouldn't want to be on that. But the other thing I wasn't crazy about with Harry Potter is the book. First of all, it's like 1 million pages each one, and it's the entire year. This movie seems to take place over maybe a week, which I think is
I think it's like the
awesome.
week before Halloween.
Right, yeah, you totally get it. You're like, "Oh, she's the worst witch? I don't know how long she's been here. Maybe this is her first year. Maybe she's a returned student. I'm
No,
not sure.
she is a
now
first
everyone
year.
loves her. The end.
Yeah.
We're in and out in 65
Yeah.
minutes."
We get it done. Yeah. No, it is her first year. We do get that little bit of
Okay.
background. Yeah.
All right, so we get the opening is fun because
Well,
where
the
are
movie
we?
is The Worst Witch, 1986, right?
Yeah,
Let's-
thank you for you were saying what it is that we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this is some sort of Canadian production company and HBO came together to put this out, and I wasn't sure who owned the rights either, because it was shown. I saw simultaneously every Halloween. It was shown on HBO and the Disney Channel.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Okay.
I'm kind of like, so I'm going to put it out there. Disney, if you own this, put it on your stupid streaming thing. Like,
Yeah.
get somebody in to clean this up because it looks terrible on YouTube.
Yeah,
It's like a
somebody does need to
grainy
clean
mess.
up. It's like a secondhand. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody took their VHS that had been much loved and
Yeah.
decided, all right, I'm just going to point the camera at the TV
But I
screen
appreciate
and
it.
record
People like me needed to see this, and I'll see it in any form. But I agree. A polished up version of this, my eyes would be happy.
Listen, you include a Fairuza Balk commentary.
No, I'll take it. I'll take it any day.
Yes.
Any day of the week.
Oh, all right. So
Yeah.
we're at a school. It's a castle. We see, even when they show a castle, which is a real castle,
Oh,
they
yeah.
have to put a green screen behind it of like scary clouds and stuff. It makes no sense. But I guess maybe when they were filming it, they're like, it's never sunny in England. But of course, when we're here to film these exterior shots, it's really sunny.
The sun is shining.
So
I
we
thought this
oh,
was
yeah.
a musical because it does open up with a wild song that growing up isn't easy.
It's a very Annie-esque
Yes,
type of
that's.
song.
I heard the song and I was like, "What?" This because again, if you listen to the podcast, if you know, I love Annie. I thought I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
Annie as a child. I think I could have transitioned from Annie to what's her
Mildred
name?
Hubble?
Mildred. I think I could have Mildred. No, maybe not. But anyway, the song. But
Come on, wait.
the sad
Listen,
thing
I
is,
understand that the Annie wig is fun, but you wouldn't wear this hat and cape around.
oh, I mean, how fun
Of
is the hat and
course.
cape? But here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
She doesn't ever sing. It's not her singing. Like Mrs. Garrett does some singing. Sorry, just thinking of it, I got the giggles.
When it's the evil Mrs. Garrett singing,
Whoa, is she giving it her all?
I was immediately I went, well, that's not her. Oh my God, that's her. It takes a moment or two for her
Yeah.
to like settle into her singing voice because I don't know. She starts by screaming and ends with screaming. But when she settles in, I'm like, wow, Mrs. Garrett is really belting this shit out.
She's
I
trying her
cannot
best.
believe-
She's doing her best. And of course, Tim Curry really sings. But I don't think that Fairuza Balk sings this whole like
No.
Annie-esque.
No. I don't think so. I mean, all the girls sing the school song. and,
Right.
I mean, it's not a musical, but
It's
I mean,
got
if you're
musical
putting in
numbers.
if you're putting in 4 to 5 songs in an hour, that's
Yeah.
pretty close to a musical.
Yeah, you're getting there. You're getting there. But it just that first song kind of won me over with, and you're like in a little witch's orphanage. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I was like, that's when I said to myself, Doug chose this for me. He just knew I would needed to see it. But you're right. We are in their school.
We're introduced to sort of everybody there. We see that Mrs. Garrett and Diana Rigg work there, and all the girls live in the attic. It looked like they were in a tree house. Like this looked like it was all just wooden boards in a stone castle. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no. They're
Okay.
boarded up there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Boarded
so
there.
they all get up, and we just, over the credits, we get to see that the worst witch is, of course, the clumsiest witch. Like, she
Yeah.
drops her bag down the stairs.
Yeah.
And the first part of this movie, or the first thing that happens, is she and her friend, what's her friend's name?
I don't know.
Pippi
what her-
Longstocking or something?
Yeah, it's
Let's
this
call
cute
her.
little redhead, and they have a nice relationship because she's very defensive of her,
Mm-hmm.
and they roommates and everything. They're cute little besties. But I don't remember her name though.
That's okay. They have a test. It's a potions test.
I know how magical.
Yeah, with the mean teacher,
Yeah.
Mrs. Hardbroom,
That's Shin. That she is.
played by Diana Rigg, who just died recently.
Oh, R.I.P.
R.I.P., Diana.
Hardbroom.
Yeah. R.I.P. Hardbroom. So her friend, first of all, they get in, they're like, oh no, I don't even know how to do a single spell. I don't know
Yeah.
how long they've been here. I don't know what's really happening at this point. We do find out it's right around Halloween, but I don't know when their semester starts.
No,
I don't know if this
no.
is a regular school.
No, we know it's a witches' school. It's a
Well,
school
no,
for
I
witches.
know it's not a regular
Oh.
school. I just meant, do they go on regular? Like, do they get to go
like,
home
do they
for
have
the
a regular
summer?
right, or do they
Is
only
it like
come?
a Harry Potter thing?
I see. I think
or-
so.
Okay,
That's
all
the
right.
vibe I get. and now they've come to a certain point where maybe it's maybe pre-midterm. I don't know. I don't know the schedule exactly, but you're right. They're having a potion test. All these little pairs of witches are at their little cauldrons, putting together what Hardbroom thinks will be a tricky spell is the laughter potion.
Yes,
right?
the
And
laughter potion.
what a fun thought to say, like, well, what's the spell we're gonna make them do, or the potion we're gonna make? Because then once once most of the girls get it, these actresses, these kids, are just made to laugh and cackle like crazy. It's
Yes.
really kind of fun. A little
They
bit psychotic.
lose their fucking
they
minds
lose their
once
shit,
the
yeah.
teacher walks out of the room. And I love the fact that this evil, mean woman is like, you know what? Laughter. I think that's a good thing
Yeah.
for the class. She can
Yeah.
make them do anything.
Well, they say that the Firuza Balk and her little friend are like, we didn't even know she knew how to laugh. And
I think you mean
the spell.
laugh.
Laugh.
Jamie. Listen,
yes.
Firuza Balk is doing a great for a little kid. Like I'm always impressed when little kids come in and do accents in movies, and
Yeah.
just the fact that she has to come in and do this for the entire time around. I think just a bunch of other British actresses. I think all these little kids are British.
Yeah.
Yeah. Her friend, I love how her friend's idea is like, well, I'll just leave my textbook out. I'm sure she won't notice this. And the lady's like, hey, Dingle, put down your textbook.
Yeah, no
I'm going to
books
call this girl
allowed.
Dingle from now on. And she's like, oh, I can't believe she saw that. Like, it's a huge textbook. So the other thing is they're just winging it.
Yeah.
Like they honestly
They really don't know the spell.
they don't know
or
what
the
they're doing.
potion, Yeah.
Every other team does. Mildred Hubble looks over and sees this one girl put a spoonful of something in, and her friend goes, what's that? And she goes, I don't know, whatever, green grass or something. And her friend goes, how much should I put in? And she has just seen them put in a teaspoon. She goes, I don't know, a fistful? Her friend dumps it in, and then she goes, maybe 2 fistfuls. Like, are you trying to sabotage this?
I think poor Mildred just has processing issues, right? She sees things
Okay.
in a different way than, because, yeah.
They kind of end up just dumping everything in.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't know, let's put all this
Well,
in
and
here.
they have it right for a minute because they're like, oh, we're doing it. It's
Yeah,
pink.
it's
It's
turning
pink.
pink.
And then that's when she puts the 2 fistfuls of the green grass or something in, and it turns green, and it doesn't look like anybody else is in the class. And when they taste theirs, this is great. When they taste theirs, because now they've got to taste their potions, right, to see if they work, it makes the girls kind of disappear. It's quite the, I don't know what kind of movie magic this was. Where we just get to see their floating heads and then their floating feet.
What I will say is, compared to what we are going to see in this movie, this is kind of amazing. Like it's like they front loaded it with the best visual effect they have. And then they went, well, we blew our budget and it's day one. Yeah, they make themselves disappear, of course, and they get in trouble, of course. It is fun to watch the little stools shake
Yeah.
as they're shaking on them. Their teacher yells at them and then is basically like, hey, when you're done, go see the principal or the head witch in charge or Mrs. Garrett, whatever you want to call
Whatever,
her.
however you want to refer her to. Or Mrs. Cackle.
Mrs. Cackle. Were you a little bit confused how they kind of like reappeared? Because their faces reappear and then their
feet.
shoes
Yeah.
on their own walk over
Yeah.
to them. And I just thought they turned invisible. Did their body break into invisible pieces and their feet went somewhere else?
It's witchery, dude. It's witchery. It's all kinds of ups and downs. Plus,
Okay.
they didn't do the spell right. So
Oh
maybe
yeah,
it
it
would
might
have
not
been,
just
yeah.
it might not have been invisibility.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Yeah. But they rematerialize.
Yes.
It's really fun. We do see their floating heads for a minute. That's totally
yeah,
fine.
Yeah.
And then she's in trouble.
Yeah. And just her, really.
Why just her? Why doesn't her friend have to go to
Because
the principal's office?
Mrs.
That girl tried to
Hardbroom-
cheat.
Mrs. Hardbroom really does pick on her a lot. It's very clear that
Yeah.
Hardbroom's got it out for Mildred. And to be honest, even Mrs. Garrett, when Mildred's in the office, she's like, "This keeps happening," and you just she's softer about it, and is like, you just got to please just try.
That's why I think it's so funny when you say they probably start school in September, because it's been 3 to 4 weeks, and she's like, "You're kind of a lost cause. Like this is terrible."
Well, look, if she can watch somebody put together a potion and then not repeat the exact steps she's watching, then, you know.
So you really think she's just...
I think she's an original. I don't think she's a... listen.
Okay, I just thought maybe you thought she was, honest to goodness, learning disabled.
Well, yeah,
Like
but in the
she's
sense
unable
that...
to process what a spoonful is
Yeah.
versus a handful
like
or
she's
two.
got well, a little bit. Like she can't process it because she's got a creativity that works on a different level than everybody else. She's doing spells, turning up her fellow witches into
Mm-hmm.
pigs, and these guys are just making up laughing gas, right? She's more advanced than
No, that's
she
what
can
I
even,
thought.
Yes,
yeah.
She's not
No,
the worst witch.
Yeah,
She's
I
the
was
best
like, that's
witch.
a
Yeah.
much better spell than these girls
Yes,
are doing.
exactly.
Also, I don't need to get into the economy or something of this world, but why do we need witches? Like, what are they doing for
What?
society or something? Like,
Well, first of all, if you've heard the history, Mrs. Garrett's mother, right, saved
that woman
the
in the
witches.
painting looks
Yeah.
just like my grandmother.
Well, maybe your grandmother was a witch. What an amazing thing!
That would be fantastic. I
Yeah.
just don't listen. They have witch schools.
Yeah.
They have to be doing like they have to graduate into some
Witchery.
sort of career. What? No, you can't just say witchery. What does it mean?
Because now they have all their powers have been cultivated and trained and
Mm-hmm.
properly. Now they can use to be real life witches.
To do what would real life
Witch
witches do? Like,
things. Help the world be a better place because
okay,
of who they are.
all
and
right.
how
No, if,
they
okay.
harness the powers within them.
I
It's women
I enjoy
harnessing
that.
their
I hope-
powers. Yes.
I hope that's the case. Okay.
That is.
I just wasn't sure. I didn't know if this was like training athletes to compete in
like if there's
the
a
Olympics
competition.
or something.
No. This is
or
to
what.
be in the world and use their skills.
Okay. All
I'm
right.
glad we could clear that up.
Well, I like that you brought up. You at least said the word women. Other than Tim Curry, it's all ladies.
It's
in
all
this
ladies.
movie.
It's a
Top to
lady-dominated
bottom.
movie. Yep.
All right. So yeah. So she goes in to sort of, I guess, get in trouble by Mrs. Garrett, but not really, because even at the end, Mrs. Garrett was like, "Was I mean enough for you?
Yeah.
All right, get out
Yeah.
of here,
Yeah.
silly." I also like that while she's talking to her, she's on the phone and she goes, "Okay, Donna, how are you, Donna? Oh, are you on your way, Donna? All right, I'll see you soon, Donna." She hangs up and goes, "That's Donna, my niece."
Well,
And then-
Donna, the niece, is quite the character.
but she's not. That's the thing that is amazing about this. She has a phone. She has a broom phone.
Yeah.
And then later on at the performance, she's there in teased hair with a giant bow to, I guess, make a few wisecracks.
Yeah.
But that's kind of it. Like, I thought Donna was going to be something in
I
this
think
movie.
Donna might have had a bigger role, and then they cut it. They were like, we thought Donna was going to be like the fun, but
Right.
then we had too many like sidekicks. Like,
Yeah,
I think
yeah. They were
maybe,
like, we thought
yeah.
Donna was going to be something, but we got to cut this down. And now
Yeah.
it can't even be a feature film.
Yeah.
Now we have to dump this on HBO. Yeah, for the amount of time. She said Donna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5
You
times
wrote
on
it
the
down.
phone.
Yeah, no, she was very, yeah. And then Donna flies in a little bit late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, did you notice that? I think this was a flub, but they left it in because
Hmm.
Mrs. Garrett's talking to
Mildred.
Fairuza Balk,
Yeah.
Mildred, and she stands up, stops, thinks better of it, and sits down again to deliver the titular line, "You might be the worst witch," and then stands up again. And I went, "Did she forget her line and just sat back down again?"
She's
Did
like,
it?
"Wait."
And they're like, "We'll leave it in. It's fine."
Maybe that's the thing with the Donna. Maybe she forgot her other lines that she was supposed to
Maybe,
be saying,
yeah.
so she just kept repeating
Yeah.
Donna's name. And
I
they're
would
like,
love to think that the director's like, "Listen, Tim's going to be here in 20 minutes. We have him for 2 hours.
Let's
We
just
got to
roll.
go. We
Just
got to
roll."
go."
Yeah.
He's in and out. He will literally walk
gonna
off
bring
set
his magic
saying,
blanket.
"I am walking off set," and we'll leave it in the movie. So that night, the
Oh.
two of them, the two friends, are talking.
When they first start
Yeah.
talking, there's a bat that flies into the room.
An enormous, gigantic bat.
Yes, and when
It's
they first start
scary.
talking to each other, I was like, "Is she? Oh my God, is the bat alive?" I thought that she was talking to the bat. She was talking to her friend. Though. I was, because I thought that was part of the witch school, was like at night they talk to bats. Like I thought this movie had a whole nother level of weirdness to it. But
I
it
would
doesn't.
be in for it.
I would have.
Do
I
it.
was ready. I got all
Yeah.
excited. I'm like, is she talking to the? Oh no, she's talking to her friend, not the bat.
You
But
want
the bat is still.
You want to give me 4 years of this? I will watch 4 years of this, but I don't think I will. They remade it. They made another movie in, I think, 97. I saw,
Oh,
and then there was a TV series.
I saw
recently.
that there was a TV series because when I
Yeah.
was trying to look up, when I was trying to look up songs from it, it kept bringing up.
Oh
the
yeah,
TV
you can't just type
Yeah.
in the worst witch. This stuff is buried so far down. It took me forever to understand what was going on here because, as we said, the quality of the YouTube video is really bad. When it's nighttime, I can't see anything that's happening.
Well, they're the two of them, Mildred and her friend, are kind of talking shit about Hard Broom, right? They're not a fan of the teacher.
Oh, they sure are. Yeah.
But the teacher, is the teacher the bat, or does
She's
she
the
just?
bat.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so she manifests from the bat and is like in the room in this like scary green lighting,
It's
and
very
is
scary, yes.
and is like, "Why are you talking about me? Put yourselves to bed."
It's upsetting.
Yeah.
Like, these are 12-year-old girls, and you're an adult woman. You should not be spying on them, first of all.
Well, she doesn't want them talking shit.
And then also scaring them. It's not good. Because they really are sitting there going, you know what I heard? I heard that Tim Curry was really in love with her.
Oh, yeah,
and
they
then
do
some
know that rumor,
other
yeah.
girl came in and put a spell
A
on
more
him.
beautiful girl.
She's ugly and mean. Nobody would love her. And then she materializes and chews these two girls out
Yeah.
under a terrifying green light.
Yeah.
And then they have to go to bed.
And then they tuck themselves into their little pink blankets with the little tentacle star on there or whatever it is. What is
I
it?
might,
Not
for our,
tentacle.
I don't know how I'm going to get myself, how to get a hold of this, but maybe
What?
for ours, I will find you some sort of orange romper, whatever the hell these girls are wearing.
Yeah, yeah.
And, you can pretend you attend this school, or I'll just
Love
get
it.
you a hat.
They're very big hats. I'm assuming they grow into their witches' hats because they're a little overpowering. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know how much your head's gonna grow into a giant hat.
Well, okay, so the girls are now tucked into bed.
Yeah.
We think we've met our cast of characters, but nay. Mrs. Garrett has an evil sister. Now, the Mrs. Garrett we have met is British like the rest of them.
Yeah.
But this Mrs. Garrett, like you said, has some crazy pink hair, is obsessed with herself, is kissing her own reflection in a mirror.
When she's kissing that little mirror, that's kind of super funny.
Oh, I'm watching sweet Charlotte Rae thinking, you're having a good old time, aren't you?
Yeah.
With this role. And yeah, so we find out quickly she is the sister of Mrs. Cackle, who runs the school, whose mother, we found out, founded the school. This is the sister that, for some reason, has been banished. We don't get into
Yeah.
how they got separated. I think
I
just
don't know.
because the one is bad. and-
Because later she's like, that was my school. They
Yeah.
changed my school song. Because her school song is like, my school's the best. I'm awesome. Like, that's
Oh.
a terrible school song.
I don't remember the beat to that song, but boy, is that a tune that she
It
sings.
is. That is, okay, there's things, if you've never seen this, you can watch the whole thing. It's, like I said, just over an hour long. But
Oh, yeah.
if you just want to find these musical numbers, you get everything you need just from watching that. Definitely.
I agree.
Just watch
Yeah.
Tim Curry and Charlotte Rae. Look up their songs, and you, I think, are good.
Yeah. Well, you're satisfied, but like you said, I feel.
Oh, no, I think it's worth
breezy
watching.
Hour. Yeah,
I'm just saying, if somebody doesn't want to put in the time, or
I hear you. Or you
I
just
think
want to know what
watching-
you're getting into. You
Right.
just kind of want to know these are the
Exactly.
two things you watch, and you
Yes.
say, okay, I can spend an hour, or okay, this was enough.
Right,
You'll
yeah.
still enjoy the musical numbers.
watching
but,
those
yeah,
will make you want to sit for
That's
an hour
what I think.
and take it all in.
That's what
Definitely.
I think. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
But so yeah, we meet this. Did we mention she has a southern accent? Yeah, we said she's got a terrible southern accent. The
How?
sister.
Why? Just to differentiate the wig and the black tooth aren't enough.
I want to say it was an artist's choice that Mrs. Garrett felt that it was, or sorry, Charlotte Rae.
I hope she
that
did.
This was, if I want one to be bad, she's going to be from the South because that's where bad
But
people are from.
her southern accent
Is awful.
goes away for long stretches. Like in the middle of delivering lines, it drops out halfway through.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know.
And then she's got her
it is
own
a
little
choice.
coven of witches. One of which is extremely, like you said, kind of punk rockish, but
Yeah.
just kind of
It's like her second in command there to kind of repeat what she says,
Yeah.
agree with her, and then take all of her abuse. We've seen it a lot in other movies. But while so they're outside kind of planning. They're right outside the school. Like anyone near a window would be able to hear them plotting to take over this school.
Yeah.
But what happened? Mildred and her friend like just bowl these two over?
No, they're late. They're always
Right, but I mean they
late.
knocked these two older ladies down.
Yeah.
Later on when they are like, let's get her, and they like hobble over
Oh,
like
when she
old
finds
ladies.
them later, when she rides her
Yes.
sad broom, when she takes her sad broomstick ride, that lasts way longer than it needs to.
We just get to see the beautiful British countryside. I could not believe that.
And
Then
sad little
she
Mildred
rides
on her
back,
broom.
and we see it again. I couldn't even believe that. I was like, why? Do we need to be at 65 minutes? Like,
Yeah.
I think this could be 61, guys. All right, so, they're late for the start of the school day. And I guess this is how every school day starts, with the school song.
Right.
They all the girls. There only seems to be about 20 girls total that go to this school.
Well, it's a tough training, the witches training.
Oh,
You
I
know,
know.
too
I'm
many.
sure there aren't a whole lot of witches or witches in training or girls that come from witch families. But it's an enormous castle for these 20 girls, and
True.
I think 3 to 4 teachers.
They're-
At one point, I don't think they had enough actresses. Later on, when she has to tell the one teacher that the pig is going to be late, and she opens the door and she's like, she's going to be late for class. You just hear, all right, dearie, thank you for letting me know.
we don't need to see who teaches chanting class. That's not
guess
necessary.
not.
Yeah.
Right. I like that, it's chanting class, though. All right. So they sing this school song. I couldn't make it out. I really couldn't.
It's a lot of this kind of singing.
Yep, you can't.
Yeah.
There's 30
So you
different
don't know.
voices.
Yeah.
It's a terrible YouTube cut. You can't make it out. But there are two big things happening right now. One is that the Grand Wizard is showing up to their Halloween celebration.
Yeah, it's announced. It is announced. Yeah.
And then
That's
they cut
big
to
time.
a painting of someone who looks like David Hasselhoff.
Well, the girls, when did we already see them go gaga over his picture?
Yeah.
Oh, that was earlier. Yeah.
That was right
yeah.
before this, right before
Yeah.
they start this stuff.
Yeah.
It's a big painting, and the girls are like, oh my God, he's so hot.
The
I can't
wizard's
believe it.
coming, yeah.
And the other important thing is, girls, it's time for your kittens. Let's get the kittens here. We have
Of
all
course.
these kitties.
All good witches must have a cat. Preferably a black cat,
They're
unless
all black except, oh no, who put a grey kitty in here?
you do a
It
really
is-
good British accent.
It
Listen
is.
to you.
I just love the fact that they just have a big,
big-
wicker basket
Yep.
full of cats.
Because that's what it's time for at witch school. Today's the day you earn your cat.
Yeah,
And
they
they do.
give them the cats in order of their school performance.
Yeah, yeah.
So of course there's this bitchy girl, and listen,
Right.
I don't want to call some 12-year-old girl a bitch, but that's how I wrote it in
She's,
my notes.
she's
and that's
pretty
who she
cunty,
is.
yeah.
So she gets her cat first, and then everyone after her gets black cats. And of course, when Mildred comes up, it's just a gray and white cat that they give her, and they're like, "We're so sorry about this piece
Mildred
of crap
has
we're
great
giving you."
spirits about it, though. She's like, he's so cute. I love him. At first, she's going to call him Blackie, but then she makes, which I kind of love. Even her friend's like, but he's not all black. And then what does she decide to call him? She gives him a name. It's not Blackie, though. She switches it up.
Oh, I don't know. Probably.
Tabby.
Oh, Tabby. Great. You went from one really original name to another one, Mildred. I'm starting to think you're right. I'm starting to think there's something wrong with this girl. She wants to name a gray cat Blackie. And her friend's like, are you crazy? She's like, why? I don't see the issue here. But it's a good thing they got their cats because it's time for them. These girls have a busy schedule. Like,
There's
they have
a
so
lot
much
to
going
learn.
on.
And maybe you're right. Maybe it's condensed, where maybe they started.
Condensed.
Maybe it's just the month of October that Witches School takes place. I don't know.
It's like a certificate program. You're like, well, you made it through these 5 weeks of hell, ladies. Here's your certificate. You're a level 1 witch. Maybe come back next year. Yes, but they are. Oh, go ahead.
Before, did we skip ahead? And maybe I'm.
I don't know.
Because are you going to get into how they're learning to fly on their brooms?
Mm-hmm, sure.
Before they fly on their brooms, we get the spell song number where Agnes, the Mrs. Garrett, evil twin witch,
You're
sings
right.
about filthy, smelly, evil, wicked, cruel. She sings
Yep.
about her school, and I can't remember the beat.
It's
of the,
it's like do 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 do.
Yeah.
Like, that's sort of the thing, because she's like, I'm the best at the school. I'm going to kill those kids. And yeah, it goes on, and yeah, like you said,
And
the hook
she's
is
got those
stinky
that
and
little-
smelly and filthy and
Yeah.
gross, and
she's got
yeah.
her little other lady witchy friends
Singing
that are
back
dancing
up.
all around her, and they're in the forest. And
they
she
appear
ends
to
the
live
song.
in the woods around one single large cauldron.
Yeah, that's how witches do sometimes if they
I
need
guess.
to. Yeah.
You either live in a castle or you live in the woods.
She ends that sweet spell song number with a sweet wink to the camera at the end. It's pretty
Is that when
classy.
She just goes,
it's pretty classy.
"Me, it's mine, it's mine." Granted, the song is still going on. She has stopped and is just yelling me, mine a lot, and then goes, mine, and then
Again,
winks at the camera.
They just let her go, and she did. And you gotta love that kind of energy. You gotta love it.
She's really given it, and you know she loved this character way more.
Oh yeah, she was having a ball
than,
with
what's
it.
her name? Crackle?
Mrs.
Cackle.
Cackle, because the
Okay,
witches
sorry.
cackle. These names
Yes.
are clever.
No, I get it. I
Yeah,
get it.
You dig?
Yep.
But now we can go on to the flying lessons. We have a new teacher that we meet, the flying instructor, who wears like pilot's glasses, right?
She looks like a combination of like a 70s superhero and the Red Baron.
Yeah, it's interesting that because the whole flight happens for a witch. Well, they do have sort of the cape that they wear with their right.
Sure.
But the flight is an easy thing, right? You don't have to wear the. That's what you do. Your
No.
broom is what helps you fly. You don't need a cape to help you fly.
No,
you
you don't
to wear
need a
these
cape.
Special
You don't
eye
need
wear.
giant like goggles
No.
and I don't know, like a rubber helmet, like a circa
Yeah.
World War One fighter pilot helmet.
But she is in charge of teaching flight, so I see how they want her to represent flight.
Listen, she is a character.
Right.
Also, these girls are flipping. Like, I don't think we can state or overstate how these girls are losing their minds at every turn in this movie. When Mrs. Garrett announces that the Grand Wizard or whatever is coming, the girl's like, "Oh my God!" They're freaking out. They go outside. Their teacher flies in. They're like, "Can you see what she's wearing? Look at her right there."
But that's how 12-year-old girls react to shit. It's very exciting, all of it, every bit.
I
Yeah.
don't doubt it. I just found it so fun. Just like the direction of
Yeah,
I don't
how,
know,
like,
start screaming and yelling. Go for it.
Yeah, these girls were having just as much fun as Miss Garrett was. This is
Yeah.
Mrs. Spellbinder. I wrote down her
Yes,
name too.
Mrs. Spellbinder,
That rides
yeah.
in with the glasses. And now they do some broom flying lessons.
They do.
mm-hmm.
Everybody in their cat is doing a pretty good job, of course, except Mildred. Her cat, I guess, won't stay on the broom, so she puts it in like a purse.
She puts it in a little satchel. And then she rides fine. And then that one snobby girl rats her
Yeah.
out and was like, Mildred had her cat in her satchel.
I like how this girl tells on her all the time,
all
and
the
every
things.
single teacher's like, "Oh God, all right, whatever, man,
Yeah.
don't worry about it." Because even Spellbinder's like, "All right, you know what? Maybe you shouldn't do that after today, but you know what? If your cat's scared, it's fine. Oh, it's a gray cat. Well, you're fucked."
Yeah.
So then she goes on this broom with this cat, and then I don't know, I guess can't fly because she's running into the side of the building, and then the bell, and I love how she hits the bell and the teacher's like, holy
Class
shit,
is
this
over,
class
yeah.
just started. I just showed up. I guess I'm done. It's the same way with the spell class. They make that spell. That class must be 3 minutes long. The teacher's like, all right, we're done, girls. See you later.
She's like, if the bell rings, that means we're done. I have no concept of real time.
Yeah.
No, she gets out of balance on her broom because Tabby, the cat, is trying to fidget in the bag, and it messes up her broom balance.
I have to say, if there's something more fun than watching these witches against a green screen, it's watching that cat freak out inside a bag with a jittery green screen behind it. I found that very funny. And also just the fact that the cat, it's just a man's voice going, meow, 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 over and over again.
It's pretty
I
great.
found it so much fun. Later on, she's talking to the cat, like having a sincere conversation. The cat's response is, meow. Like, I totally get you. What are we going to do? Oh, my God. It's so awesome.
It's pretty great. Now we have sad Mildred at lunch or whenever, mealtime.
Yeah.
And she's in the, I guess, the
Well,
cafeteria or whatever.
She's a little sad, but that's right before she talks about how sad she is. They look at that painting of David Hasselhoff again, and they're like, I feel all squishy inside.
Oh,
and I was
yeah.
like, I don't feel right watching this as a man in his mid-40s. Sorry, but you were talking about how she was sad.
I feel all squishy. I didn't even catch that. That's
Oh,
great.
yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, she is sad because she's tired of being the worst witch. You know, she says, I don't even mind that I'm still learning. Like, I'll still practice, but I just don't want to be the worst anymore. And her friend is so nice. She's like, well, you're not the worst, but you're kind of all the worst. And then this whole thing happens. Well, I
You're
call
not
it
the worst. I'm sure there are other schools with witches that may or may
you're
not be
just the
worse than
worst one here.
you. Right. There's only 20 of us. Someone has to be the worst.
You should be on it. I wrote it was like meal mishaps, right? So the mean girl kind of has it out for Mildred, and she throws something in her cup, and then Mildred gets kind of she's a hubble of disaster, I think is what she's called. That's what I wrote down. Mildred Hubble.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Listen, Mildred, the Hubble of disaster. I love it.
She spills her drink, and then somehow ketchup spills on one of their friends, and the friend falls down, and Mildred gets hysterical, like, oh my god, what about the screaming contest later? Do we get there?
Holy
That's
shit.
next. That's
when
next.
she screams
That's next.
12 times in a row and just won't stop.
Wait, that's next. Hold on. Mildred freaks out because the little girl, one of the other witches, falls down, and she thinks she's bleeding, but her friend points out, like, no, Mildred, it's the ketchup. Like,
Yeah.
it's just another, I think this little lunchtime scene is just another way to show us that the mean girl keeps picking on her, and Mildred just is a klutz, right?
That's
she
the
just
thing that
doesn't-
I was
yeah.
like, boy, that mean girl's really terrible. And then I thought about it and went, well, actually,
She's kind of
most
a
that was
mess,
just
yeah.
Mildred knocking everything within arm's reach over.
Mildred, you're like, I don't want to be the worst witch
I don't wanna
anymore,
be the worst
but
witch.
you're a hot mess. At least admit that you're maybe not the most together witch, okay? Let's just...
Right,
and,
yes.
And you're just not. But anyway, that's what that scene serves as.
We're not going
just
to call you the worst witch. We'll call you the spazziest
Yeah,
witch. How's that?
exactly.
Is that okay?
Exactly. Well, and then we get to see more of her spazziness because they're having some kind of competition. It's the screaming competition.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jamie. Hold
Right.
on. I think we should refer to this game by its actual name, which is Terror Attack.
It's great. And I don't know if this is an assigned game.
What was that?
Is this an assigned game, or is this something the girls just play?
I hope they're just doing this on their
I
own.
think they are.
They do have a giant scoreboard. I don't know where they got that
yeah,
from.
yeah.
I guess that's the castle's gymnasium or
But
something.
you don't remember this, you say?
No, I didn't remember this at all. And when the one girl was like, time for Terror Attack, I was like, I cannot have heard that right. And I kept listening and I went, oh, no, that's what they're doing.
Well, and when it starts out, it's pretty great. So the girls are separated into two teams, And
Yep.
the whole point is that they just have to scare each other. And they're 12-year-old girls, so scaring each other is just going up to each other and stretching out their mouths and sticking out their tongues and making silly faces. Like, that's what it is coming up behind your friend and be like, and Mildred
and
gets
it's not
scared
just-
right off the bat.
Yeah, it's not just being scared. There has to be an audible scream. And listen, if she's the worst witch, I think the best witch is the girl who can identify 12-year-old
she
girls
knows
by
who
their
scream.
scream.
She's like,
This
oh,
girl
that was
sitting next
Mildred. Oh,
to the
that was Ani.
scorekeeper
Yeah.
just yelling out people's names
Yeah.
when she hears a scream.
She knows them. She knows them by the screams.
It's
That's why she earned the scorekeeper. But yeah, it's a very silly game, and I was like, what the hell are these ladies doing? So then the teams, though, are doing pretty okay. There's like,
They're
we're
even.
going point
Yeah.
for point, right? But then Mildred goes into the bathroom, and there's somebody washing their face, and they turn around with this scary mask on. And it is the meat. Now, Mildred's reaction to this scary mask
That
is
is
like you
her
said.
reaction is like some sort of escaped mental patient. Like that is not a normal human
She
reaction.
just lets out yelps of screams, like in a secret, like
It's almost
Yeah.
like her brain broke, and now she's just screaming for the rest of her life, and they have to lock her away.
well, she earns the team 7 more screams, and so now they've reached their max. They have a winner and a loser,
Yeah.
and the fucking bitchy bitch girl Mildred is like, but she cheated. She's wearing a mask, and somehow the girl hides the mask and is like, I don't know what you're talking about, Mildred.
I was like, what? Is that cheating? Like, I wanted some other witch to bring out the terror attack rule book
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
go through it and
Well,
be
yeah,
like,
it seems
I'm
like
sorry,
no one
masks
else was
are not
using,
against the rules.
No, but nobody else was using any kind of,
No.
they had to use their own faces and be scary in that
Yeah.
way. Mildred, all of a sudden now, she's had a rough go of it because now for the next, at least through this next scene, if not more, because I think when she's in the library after she puts on the spell, her braids are all messed up. Like her one braid is totally a tight braid and her other braid is just a hot mess. But I guess
It's been a long day of filming.
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
Like they're trying to get in as much as they can
Right.
before Tim Curry shows up.
we ain't got
and
time to fix the hair.
They don't listen. Hair and makeup left 3 hours ago.
Right.
They're
working
not-
on Tim, actually. They can't be bothered with the continuity
Right,
of these
yes.
girls right now. But yeah, the Mildred's mad, as you
right.
can
She's
expect.
really had enough.
Yes, and Ethel, that's the mean girl's name. Ethel is, again, just bringing on the bullying. And
Mm-hmm.
Mildred's like, well, I'm going to put a spell on you. And really nobody, not even Mildred, thinks that she could pull this spell off.
Oh,
but
no,
she
no,
says
right.
things, very spelly things.
Well, she
like-
tries to turn her into a frog.
Yeah.
I think that's important to say.
Oh, right. That's
She
right.
does say very spelly things. You're exactly right. It is just nonsense. She's just
Yeah.
saying nonsense, closing her eyes, just trying to make up words that rhyme, thinking,
Yeah.
maybe this will do something. I don't know.
Right.
What rhymes with frog? Bog? Maybe hog? I guess
Yeah.
I'll use hog. I'm sure that won't get me in any trouble at all.
Right? But it does. Dun dun dun. And she turns her friend or her enemy into a pig. She
With a
disappears.
kicky little scarf on. It's
And
very
who
cute.
actually like has it's the pig is really cute that
Yeah.
they use. It's adorable. And so yeah, now she's got a pig on her hands.
Yeah.
And her friend
It's very fun. Great pig acting. I got to tell you,
Yeah,
this
that's
pig
what I was thinking. Yep.
just gets sad at one point and lays down. I think it's really nice.
Buries its
But
little head and just
also, what I think is great is it's not like this mean girl has like her group of bully friends.
No,
'Cause,
it's
boy,
mostly
do
the
these
mean
other
girl.
girls find this absolutely
Yeah,
hilarious.
yeah,
Like they
it's
all
great.
point and laugh at this pig.
But now the mean teacher comes. And,
Hard broom?
Yes,
Hard broom?
hard broom is there, and her hard broom is like this. You got to reverse the spell, and she can't. Mildred can't, so they have to go to the library
Yeah,
to find the reversal.
I got to
spell.
tell you, I really think this is some. I know she's supposed to be a mean teacher. This is good teaching because she really is like.
Yeah, it's
I'm not going to
learning
do
in
it
the
for
moment.
you.
Yeah,
This is. She calls it a learning experience,
And she's
and
right.
she even loves that kiss-ass girl, and she will not turn back into a human.
because again, it's a lesson for all the girls. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they have to go to the library, and the pig girl Ethel is she's very impatient and I love it. I love it because Mildred keeps telling you must be a little more patient. Why are you being so? You really should calm down.
You do sound like one of the Spice Girls when you.
Oh,
I know that's a compliment.
okay.
After the worst witch, they are England's greatest export. How about they go into this library, and I love how the flying teacher just wanders in and is like,
Oh,
why
yeah.
is there a pig on the table?
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't know. It's a little girl. And she's like, well, all right, whatever, you two. And leaves. And then she's like, oh, good, I finally found this spell. Literally reads this, and the words are Humpty Dumpty Yakety Yak. What? How is
Pretty
it?
great.
Like, it's funny enough for a kid's movie. I get it. But it's not even, I don't know. Like, the spell stuff was super cheesy. In a movie that's really cheesy, I'm not saying you need, like, scary spell words
You
or
wanted
anything.
like the spells from Charmed. Is that what you were looking for?
Oh my God! Yeah, definitely.
From the Book of Spells.
I need
Yeah.
3 women to sit around a book to read stuff out in unison. And then, like, every now and then, a hot guy shows up, and they're like, "He's so hot." Then he becomes a demon that tries to kill them.
Such a good show.
No, all I thought was, like, she's mispronouncing words, and I'm like, is this
Yeah.
because you're doing this British accent that you don't know how this stuff is? But it still ends up working.
Mm-hmm. Well, it slowly
Well-
starts working. It's kind of funny. When she turns back into a girl, she's still like on all fours with her back hunched on
Still
the table.
yelling at her.
Yeah.
Still berating this poor girl. But there is a mid-transition scene where I said the pig in the scarf is adorable, but when they put the pig in a scarf and boots, I thought it was really great. And I was ready for some payoff. In my head, I had this different, because when she turns her back, Mildred's looking at her like almost laughing.
Yeah.
And it's only because she's on all fours. In my mind, I was like, oh, she still has a curly tail, but she doesn't.
That would have been great,
Yep.
but she doesn't.
No.
But she does get her back. She gets Mildred back because. Oh well, how do we get
Well,
there?
in a minute, because now they're back at school.
Yeah.
I guess it's the next day or whatever. This is when the girls are passing around a picture of
Oh, Tim Curry. And they're Googling
And it's
about it.
not, I got to give this movie credit, because movies do it all the time where they take an actor and they take a headshot and there's like a picture. No, it's a picture of him in full getup
As
for
a
this
wizard.
movie.
It's wizard
so
him.
cool.
Yeah, it's the Grand Wizard. Oh yeah, they pass this picture around.
They're kissing it. They're swooning. They are losing
Oh.
their minds again.
And now it's been told that what they need to do is they have a broom routine. that they
A
will
broomstick
perform.
display,
Yes,
they call it.
That they
I
will
would have called it
perform.
broom routine. I think
Yeah,
that's
I
probably
think
the
that
better way to
sounds a little
say.
better, more sassy. That involves a V-shaped routine. It's intense. And flying
Yes.
auditions, not just
Yes.
practice. They're going to audition because they don't just want anybody flying for the Grand Wizard.
I also like how Mrs. Hardbroom comes in, or whatever her name is, and she confiscates the picture and then
yeah.
takes it with her when she
Well, yeah,
leaves.
they're lovers, we think.
Uh-huh.
And
She's like,
Luke's
I'm not going to have to use my imagination tonight.
I got my sweet pick right here. So now these auditions happen, and again we get more green screen broom flying, and Mrs. Hardbroom is grading them. And
Why is
actually-
she grading them? The
know,
flying teacher
I
is standing there with
wondered
a
why the flight
clipboard,
teacher wasn't.
and she's writing down what the other teacher tells her. Mm-hmm. Come on, lady,
know.
step up. This is your department.
Yeah, I know, and she doesn't. The flying teacher even gives grief because Mildred's actually doing a pretty decent job, and
Right.
the Hardbroom says, "Who's that girl up there? She's doing so good." Well, that's Mildred. I'll give her a 4.
Give her a 4, which still makes her like 9th place, honestly.
Well, and that's why she gets so. The winning team of broomers or of witches with their broom tricks are picked that are going to perform, and Mildred is not in this team at first. But there was a girl who got into the laugh potion again, and she's still having issues.
It is just tossed off that some
That's how
girl
they-
is hooked on laughing potion.
So they need an alternate, and it just so happens Mildred makes the alternate list.
Right.
But with that is when our friend but Mildred's broom is a little shaggy. I think from her fall there when her cat Tabby was making her go all cockeyed. So our mean character says, "Oh, I've got a very special broom for you that you can have. It's my special broom." And she goes,
"Oh yeah, you turned me into a pig. Water under the bridge.
I don't understand
Hey, how about
this.
you come around this evening and I'll give you my broom? Just take really good care of it. We're BFFs now, right?
"Yeah, how do you not see that, Mildred?
How do
You're
you
a
not
little
see it
too
a mile
gullible,
away?
Mildred."
And how does your pigtail friend not be like, listen, borrow mine?
Yeah.
Or wait, is she part of it? Is
No,
she in
I
the,
don't think
is she in the
she
group
is. I
too?
don't think she
No, I
made
didn't
the
think
cut.
so. All right. Yeah. Lend her your broom. You're not using it.
The evil girl even puts a spell on her broom, and the broom glows red as she says, like, "You will grow as fast as I need you to when I tell you to," and whatever.
Yeah,
So,
she's giving her broom like an evil pep talk. Like, you listen to me, you piece of shit. She's like insulting her poor broom.
You were gonna
and
do
telling
as
it to
I
like
said.
when she says faster, the broom's supposed to freak out and kind of murder this girl.
yeah. Well, she ruins the whole thing, really. It's awful.
Yeah.
But now we've got these girls. I have here more music from the Sister Witch. There must be another little tune that
There is
she
like
sings
we go
about
back to
coming
these
and
witches,
attacking.
and I did write in my notes every time we go back to the evil witches, it's signified by like a 12-year-old playing on a Casio keyboard. I don't know, like the music
how
is
we-
weird.
dun, dun, dun,
They
yeah.
sing another evil song.
Yeah.
That's kind of all they're doing, but this is really where they're plotting like more specifically. At the beginning of this movie, I found it funny when they were like, while they're preparing for Halloween week, we're going to go in and kill them.
Yeah.
And then Tim Curry shows up, and I'm like, isn't it Halloween now?
Yeah,
Like, they
what's
totally
happening?
missed it.
It's happening, you guys. Well, it's still,
Yeah.
they're preparing. And the girls, on the other hand, the witchy girls, are also getting ready for Halloween.
Let's talk about what they're doing, because they get ready for Halloween by bragging about shampoo they use and putting on fake noses.
Yeah.
What is this? What are they doing?
They're being witches, getting their hair slimy. I don't like the whole thing about the witch having the nose. I know it's a thing, but, it's a thing.
Oh, do you find it insulting? Is
Yeah.
that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I mean, Jamie, I know you misspoke, but you did just refer to them as broomers, which I thought might be an insult. Like, that's
Well, when they're learning how to manage their broom, they're just broomers.
all them fucking broomers up there casting their spells and whatnot. All right. All right. So, yeah, they're all getting ready for this big Halloween celebration. They can't wait tonight. It's all happening. Perhaps it's happening kind of right now, because now it's nighttime and it's time for this movie. If you're sitting there right after you listen to us and you're sitting there waiting and you're like, I don't know, man, I'm like halfway through this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of crazy, but not to the degree that these two talked about. Well, just strap in,
Yeah.
people, because it gets nuts now.
This is when it really gets trippy. I mean, it's Tim Curry coming in as the Grand Wizard, and he flies in with this huge rug cape thing that he wears, and he does a number. Do you remember any of the number about anything can happen on Halloween night?
Of course, anything can happen on Halloween. Your dog could turn into a cat. Anything can happen on Halloween. Something. I guess I'm a bat.
Oh, your sister could turn into a bat?
Oh, is that what he says? Okay, yeah. But then at times it's like, Halloween is super scary. I'm gonna play my tambourine.
Oh, my God. Well,
What's
first he
that
goes
holiday
through...
that I'm singing about? It's Halloween. He is going crazy.
And so is all of the effects. There's
It's
like
just like
6
it's
of
the green
him at
screen.
one point. He talks about on Halloween night, your body, the blood in your body starts to boil. And like there's a big red rectangle that happens inside of him. That's like it's very strange.
But it's not even like blood. It's like
It's like an
it's like
image
a
of
lava
some
lamp. It's
kind.
like
Yeah,
a
it's
red
weird.
lava lamp.
It's weird.
And then there's just word. Like at one point, he's like, "Halloween's better than a VHS.
And then
Why did you
he's
show
inside a
us a-
VHS. And then there's two Tim Currys inside of a VHS.
I would not have been surprised if it just where they were like, "Oh, Tim Curry, by the way, you were supposed to write a song." And he's like, "What are you talking about? I didn't get that note." And they're
About
like, "All right, we'll give
Halloween?
you
I got it
10
right here."
minutes. We'll give you 10 minutes to write this song." I would not be shocked because none of it makes sense. It's him.
He goes through all the holidays at one point, and he's like, "Christmas time is for Christmas time is for the snow, and the summertime is for." I can't do the beat at all. Summertime is for the sun.
Halloween is the time that you'll be with me. I love when he has the heart and he's like squishing
he
it to
squishes
beat.
the heart.
It is. This is so much fun.
Oh, it
And
is.
also, it's not just like a stable camera and him against the green screen. It's zooming in. It's zooming out.
wild.
It's
It's
going
wild.
all over the place.
I think it's called Halloween Time. Anything? No, wait. What's it called? Because it's worth people looking up.
Oh,
want them to
I don't know what's.
I want them to know. I want them.
Listen,
They should.
First of all, type in Tim Curry Halloween song.
Halloween
like, it's
night.
got to
Yeah,
be the
Tim
only
Curry
thing
Halloween
that
night
comes up.
song. Anything could happen. Yeah, when he starts playing that tambourine, I can play
Yeah.
a tambourine. I sent you that picture. I was like, fuck.
It is wild because it's also like we see him flying in, like you said, in this giant. It's like a quilt or something. I don't know what he's wearing. And then I'm like, all right, well, I guess he's going to land and talk to these girls. No, it's just him
a
shimmying and
performance, yeah.
shaking in front of a green screen then for an entire song.
Beautiful song. And then he flirts a little bit with
Oh my God.
Hard Broom.
Oh, we have these girls here, and they're going to do.
You
are
train
these
them with this
your girls? Did
routine.
you?
Yeah.
Did you train them? It's a lot of Tim Curry just doing that
Yeah.
for the entirety of this scene.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, it's time for these girls after that amazing performance.
Now
Like,
the girls have their broom performance. And it's going well at first. It really is.
Sure,
They're doing the
yeah.
V's. They're all set up to go. And then that stupid bitch.
Listen, I do have to tell you, I did find it fun because the bitchy girl's in charge, and I don't know how to describe what I'm going to do for our listeners, but when she's in the front and she just does this with her hand.
Oh, yeah,
and
and
just
waves
to
it
like
on.
signify, no, we're going to turn around. I was like, she is cool and confident, and this is going really
this is going to be sweet. Yeah, but then she ruins it because she tells
says
her
faster.
broom to do faster, and it doesn't just mess up. It's not like it just makes Mildred look bad. Mildred messes up everybody, and now the wizard is so pissed. He's like, this is terrible. And he's like, I've got someplace else to be. And he just leaves.
It is so awesome. He says, I got a split. I got another gig, and just walks off set. Like, it is amazing. It's amazing just how big he came in,
Yeah.
and with that song, and then was, I'm gonna say, super horny and ready to get down with that lady after whatever's gonna happen. And now he's not interested in anything that's happening. He's got to go, and literally flies
He
away
flies
over
away
the castle.
with his big, he's gone. And
Oh
now,
my God, it's so much fun.
But now poor Mildred is so sad. She
Yeah.
she knows that the broom was cursed, and
Yeah.
she knows that it's not her fault, but no one's going to believe her. So did you notice, by the way, the poster of David Bowie in the girls' bedroom?
Did not.
Yeah.
I did not.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't surprise me. You know, girls around that age, around this time, I think they probably had a thing for Tim Curry
Goblin King,
and
yeah.
the Goblin King.
Yeah.
You saw that again. That package he was packing in that movie,
Yeah,
like those
yeah.
tight pants and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could see these girls sitting down at night watching Labyrinth before they go to bed.
They loved it. It was part of their little witchy routine. But
And,
no,
and I mentioned it earlier, but during this nighttime fiasco, we do have so many cuts to Donna and the Red Baron just sitting there, and Donna just making some
yeah, we
snide
do.
comment.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and I kind of like I never put two and two in my head, and I was like, who is this person?
Well,
have we met her? Where did she come from?
And it's weird with Donna because the one sister is from Alabama. The one sister is from
Right.
England. And Donna is like a witch from Jersey. Like she kind of has
Yes.
this act. So it's like, what's happening?
Yeah,
And,
and
it's
I
your
kinda-
niece Donna. So that means it's the daughter of your sister who's trying to take over. I don't know. Confused
I
about the
don't
Donna
know.
character.
And then I was trying in my mind going, well, wait, is Donna then also the punk rock witch? But I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
I don't. Yeah, I was like,
No.
well, maybe everybody has a double in the evil. No,
no, I don't think that's a little too much for this movie.
I was giving
Yeah,
this
no.
movie a little too much credit
Yeah,
there.
no.
All right. But yeah, she's very upset, and she gets
She's
she
gonna
gets
run away.
punished dinner before, or sorry, bed without any dinner. I did think that was like the funniest punishment that Mrs. Garrett could give her. Is like, I don't know, go to bed without dinner.
Yeah, you'll starve. Just be hungry.
Yeah, but she's gonna leave. She's
Yeah.
very sad. She's gonna run away. Run away, and
Yeah.
some of the cat's like meow.
But she does. She takes a little sad broom ride. It's an extended broom ride. We mentioned before. It's a little longer than it needs to be because it's just her sad flying
Right.
over. She doesn't even have her cat in her satchel. It's just her.
Yeah. Oh, also, I think it's important to note that Tim Curry and all that stuff just happened in the middle of the night. Now it's daytime.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
flying around in the day.
She's going. But while she flies, she stumbles upon the evil sister and Agnes and her little gaggle of witches and
Yep.
hears their plan. And she's like, what? So she stops right there and she's like, all right, I got to figure this out. I got to do a spell on them and take over them.
Yeah.
They can smell her because they're witches and they
Well,
can smell that something's out of the norm.
Plus, they're in a forest full of dead trees, and she's wearing like purple and orange
Right.
and standing
and she
maybe
does just
20
stop
yards from
and
them.
stand there. Yeah, they try to shoot these spells at her, and the spells just seem to—they're not even hitting her. They're not even
No.
hurting sweet Mildred.
It
While
is
Mildred
so
kind of
weird.
stumbles upon, she's stumbling through a spell that she's trying to kind of wing for these
Yes,
witches, and it
she's
works.
trying to turn them into snails while they're shooting sparks and like tiny
I
firecrackers
think
at
they're
her.
trying to shoot different like spells her way, and
Right.
none of them are working. They're it's all a miss. And she quickly does this little snail spell, and sure enough, these women become snails. These witches become snails, and Mildred scoops them up into a box and is like, "Great, now maybe everyone will be nice to me because I will explain what I did." Of course,
Yeah,
when she first
it is fun because thankfully it was established earlier that the evil witch was like, I'm going to turn them into frogs, and here's this box I'm going to put
oh
them in.
right, she's got a box ready. Right, yeah.
Right.
Right. So this is because that was the evil witch's plan, is to turn everybody in the school into frogs and
Yeah.
then take over the school. But Mildred has now stopped that. Mildred now goes back to the school, and she gets some negative feedback at first. The mean stick is there, and it's like
Hello, Mrs. Meanstick.
she's lying. She's making this up. First, she gets in trouble. Why would you're not supposed to be off school grounds? You shouldn't have run away. Mildred explains what she found.
Right.
Mean Stick calls bullshit on her, but then Mildred is like, no, the witch kind of looked like you, except with crazy hair.
Except really ugly.
Yeah,
And
she
she's
says,
like,
except ugly.
Oh,
And,
yes,
yeah.
I know that. That's my sister.
Mrs.
And
Garrett's
I
like,
love how
"Shh."
she's like, hey, I have this box of snails here that proves that these are
these
witches.
but and I love it because they're like, the snail, if it's really you, step forward, or you'll be banished you'll be a snail forever.
snail
so she
forever,
does
yes.
have to step forward or slime her way forward. And yeah, Mildred, all of a sudden, Mildred goes from the worst witch to here comes Tim Curry, back to fly back in.
Hold on, wait,
What?
hold on. Do you have to pee?
No.
Oh, I was going to say, you're like flying through the end of this.
Well, we're over an hour talking about this hour.
I don't care. I'll talk about this for another hour. It doesn't matter to me. But it's fun because Mrs. Garrett turns the evil witches back into witches from snails.
Oh, right.
And it's just such a fun, this is a movie for little kids. Like, nobody's getting killed. Nobody's
right.
becoming a snail forever. She's like, well, you lost. I'm the better witch. Now get out of here, you
Yeah.
dumb hag.
Yeah, now scat.
That is
Yeah.
how this is all resolved.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun. But like you said, it's not over yet. Because Mildred is summoned to the, I'm going to call it the Great Hall, where they all meet and
Yeah.
sing their song in the morning.
Yeah.
And Tim Curry is standing there, and like the other girls are flipping out that she gets to stand on stage with him. And oh my God, when he's standing there going, I've seen this girl fly. The first time I saw her, she was terrible. And it seems like you may need some flying lessons, huh? How would you like to fly with me? It's overly sexual and very creepy because she's such a little girl. And they literally fly off together. She's like perched on his giant cape.
His giant cape, yeah, and they just green screen fly side by side. She is the happiest Mildred we've seen. He is.
Oh my God.
He's Tim Curry with a giant rug cape. And yeah, they are. It is bliss. It is Mildred.
It's delightful.
Bliss. The bitchy girl has to be all. All the girls kind of run her into a corner because they're so excited for Mildred, who gets to fly with the wizard. We do when they're flying. They fly over. You had mentioned this. They fly over the sister witch who is holding up a sign trying to get back to Alabama.
It just says Alabama on it. And also, she only has her sidekick. I think the other witches left.
Yeah.
Like, I think they were like, well, that was our big plan.
Maybe they work for the school now. They're like, we were low on teachers anyway, so if you girls want to make a flip, come stay here. Yeah.
Yeah, we need somebody to ring the bell in the morning because that seems like
It's been
such
going
a
haywire,
chore.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, and that's how it ends. That is how the worst witch ends.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
I'm so happy I watched it again.
I'm so happy you brought it into my life.
I want to watch it again. Like, I
Yeah.
really do want to watch this again.
Have you watched it with your girls?
No, well, I started to. I watched this 1.5 times.
Oh, boy.
Only because, and maybe Mildred and I are very similar in certain
A
ways.
little clumsy.
Mildred had a hard time in school, and, I did. It was due to laziness, not just being dumb.
Right.
And when I watched this, I was so interested in what I was watching, I was not taking notes.
Oh, you fool.
I was 20 minutes in before I went, I have an open laptop for some
shit.
reason. I should have been paying attention. So I took notes for the rest of it, and then today started it over to take notes for the first 15, 20 minutes. So my youngest watched it with me. She was kind of super into it.
Yeah, I think they would
So-
all love it.
Yeah, I will have to finish that with her. Maybe all of them if they're really that interested. Carla was there today when I started to watch it, and her eyes almost rolled out of her head. The looks she was giving me. Every time something happened, she was like, "Oh, this seems like quality entertainment."
Yeah, Barrett hated it. I had a grin from ear to ear, and he was like, "This movie is terrible." I'm like, "It is so amazing." And he was like, "What are you going to say about that shit movie?" I'm going to say how amazing it is.
It is amazing. That shit movie. What is he talking about? Wow. Listen, I know it's no Xanadu or whatever he loves, but come on, this is great.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
No, I know he likes some things. Yeah, so that's it. I don't know. This is kind of a one-off. This isn't a real episode. We're going to put it out during our off week between 2 regular episodes. So we don't need to do. I mean, unless you have. Did you have a recommendation?
Well, I didn't. I came up with a list of just other, like The Craft. Obviously, is an obvious kind of recommendation because Farouz is in it and it's witchery. There is.
Can I tell you something that I think should probably be a crime?
What?
Against someone who loves this movie as much as I do.
What?
I saw The Craft when The Craft came out. Did not know this was the same person.
Oh, you didn't know it was her?
For decades, I did not know this was the same person. Yeah.
Oh, really? You kind of. How can
honestly,
you not tell that cute little face grew up into that crazy
right,
face?
Exactly. Do you know when I found out? And I don't think I said it on the podcast. When we did Return to Oz, That's when I watched it and I went, oh,
Really?
that's Fairuza Balk. Holy shit, that's the same girl that was in, because she's about the same age. Yeah, I finally put it together that late in life.
Okay, so you were.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, that to me is an obvious recommendation, but not to you because you didn't know.
No. Right.
I
exactly.
thought so. I just looked up other like witch movies, which I've never seen, and I think this was redone. There's a
Sure.
movie called Witches that came out in 1990 with Angelica Houston. It's a whole different spin on witches. It's based off the Ronald Dahl book.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen either the Angelica Houston one or the new one. The new one gets terrible reviews, but the Angelica Houston one, I watched the trailer. It looks trippy as balls. It looks crazy.
It is scary.
That's what else it looks. It doesn't look very kid friendly.
Scary.
Yeah.
That's a very, very troubling. There's just one scene where the kid's like, I don't know.
Well,
like
that's the witches
in
are
some-
meant to eat kids or something, right?
Yeah,
Isn't it?
but these kids in like a witches meeting, and they all like rip their faces off and
that's
stuff.
what I saw,
It
where
is
they-
so
it's
scary.
very-
It's really bizarre. Yeah, I haven't seen the new one. I heard it's not very good.
Yeah, I
but
get bad reviews. Then I saw, again, on my little Google search, and I thought, I wonder if Dougie knows about this. In 1942, the movie I Married a Witch with Veronica Lake.
Of course I know it. It's great. It's super fun.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
you're adorable. Of course he knows it. Anyway, I have not seen the witches that we spoke of just now, the scary one with Angelica Houston, and I have not seen this Veronica Lake 1942 witch movie, but I put them on my own list of witch movies to see. So those are not necessarily recommendations for our listeners, but they can sure have them if they want. They are my own recommendations.
Hey, wait. I think isn't March Women's Month? Is that
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now, I was just trying to figure out, I was like, is there any sort of theme or reason that on this podcast we could do a whole month of witch movies? 'Cause I would
Yes.
love to do witch movies.
Yes.
People have been asking us to do Teen Witch for a very long time.
Let's get on board.
And I would love to do witch movies in like October, but Teen Witch isn't
I know,
scary.
and horror is better
that's not
for
really going
October.
to work.
No.
We could do other witch movies,
We
though.
could
but
do it. It's women power. Witch movie. I love it. Let's do it.
I love witch movies. I really do.
All right.
As a general.
There's a witch movie about a white witch too that I've seen. Okay, let's get this going.
okay.
All right. A little
Yeah.
behind the scenes for everyone there.
Yeah, but thank you everybody for listening.
Right.
I hope you've sort of enjoyed this uncut, unedited episode. If you have, we do this for every episode on Patreon, and we also have a bunch of full episodes that are only up on Patreon. So if you're interested, patreon.com/goodtimesgreatmovies. But we will talk to you next week. You don't even have to wait a week in between.
Lucky.
Yeah. All right, everybody. I wish I could think of some British thing to say. Hello, or goodbye. Nope, not good. Not good at all.
Terrible. Oh, that was terrible as well. Well,
Well, Harry Potter,
Well,
he's
go-
gonna go. He is.
we gotta go find our other witches and do some spells. I don't know. It's terrible.
How much longer can we drag this on?
We
for?
can.
It's almost been an hour and a half
We're gonna
on
end
a 65-minute movie.
How about this?
All right, everybody. See ya.
Cheerio.
Oh, you did it.
Anything can happen on Halloween. Your dog could turn into a cat. There may be a toad in your bass guitar, or your sister could turn into a bat. Christmas time brings the snow. Summertime brings the sun. But on Halloween, your blood begins to run. Someone's movie's going down. Anything can happen on Halloween. It's better than a video. Gremlin's gonna mess up every cassette from London to Idaho. April 1st can be fun. New Year's Eve is a bore. But on Halloween, your flesh begins to crawl. Oh, I'm losing control. Anything can happen on Halloween. Your toenails grow long and your hair turns green. Your teacher could become a sardine. Your dentist could turn into a queen. Has anybody seen my tambourine? I may start playing, picking the picking, the craziest night you've ever seen. This hairy, scary, creepy, crawling,
My sister's taking all the fun out of being bad.